Swarm 2 is coming on March 7th to the Meta Quest 2, 3, and Pro, and I've gotten to play various versions of it for the past month. Taking everything that made the first one great and adding well-balanced roguelike mechanics on top of it is a combination made in heaven. You are essentially Spider-Man with guns as you fight off robots in a colorfully dystopian future. While the story mode isn't in the build I've played, I think it's safe to say that this game is a brilliantly well-made workout for both body and mind. So let's get into it in the XboxEra review of Swarm 2. The game's biggest change is its run-based upgrade systems. There are promises of a full story mode, though the build I got to play for review didn't have any of that yet. What it did have was a lot of numbers that go up, both in and out of your runs. Roguelikes make pretty much any genre better, and an acrobatic, grappling-based VR shooter in medium-sized arenas benefits greatly from the added mechanics. During every run, you'll earn purple crystal-shaped currency that is used in the main menu to unlock permanent upgrades. After each level of a run, you'll get a choice from 3 various temporary upgrades, and you can use these to make builds that super power up various abilities as you unleash your inner Grim Reaper on that local robot populace. As you complete levels, you'll also unlock various guns that can then pop up in the world that are limited use, such as a minigun or a Tesla-inspired lightning one, and many more. Most of the time, you'll be going at it with your twin machine pistols that fire via the triggers. Your grip button will shoot out your grappling gun, allowing you to fly around each stage like a drunken Spider-Man kinda. It is a ton of fun, and thanks to a solid performance on my Quest 3, I never once felt sick. I do have a bit of a VR iron stomach, so your mileage may vary. Every combat level sees you taking on swarms of robots until a portal shows up, and then you leave for the next one. There are also crystal collecting mini-levels a few times per run, as well as 3 different bosses. I didn't see any real variety in the boss levels yet, so I'm hoping that is something they add to over time. Graphically, Swarm 2 looks real pretty. It focuses on readability for enemy types with clearly defined outlines and obvious weak points on the shielded ones. The first build of the game I had was fuzzy as hell, but thankfully a few weeks into my playtime, a patch hit that upgraded things for Quest 3 users, and it felt like I finally got a prescription glasses after stumbling around for years in the dark. Sound effects and music are bright and cheery without ever getting in the way or being obnoxious. I have zero idea how the game's story cutscenes will play out. I think the art style of the humans I've seen is a bit dorky though, so I'm not holding out a ton of hope for it. The biggest draw of the game, outside of just being a ton of fun, is the leaderboard system. There are 3 difficulties that I've seen so far, and each has its own leaderboard system to try and climb the ranks in. I've only gotten to play this pre-release software, and things can always improve with a day 1 patch, but I did have a couple of odd bugs that one worked in my favor and one did not. Happily, the game broke on the final stage in that I could no longer die one time. I started bouncing off walls, swimming in lava, and my character's health said 0, but I just kept playing. The bad time, I could not advance to the boss stage. I killed the boss, and I was just stuck hanging around for 15 minutes, never getting to go to the next level, before I finally gave up on the hope that it would just load the next one. Other than those, it was a relatively bug-free experience across many dozens of runs. Wrapping things up, Swarm 2 is a ton of fun. You'll swing around shooting robots in decent-sized arenas until you can barely stand because it feels so damned good. A solid progression system and good looks don't hurt either.